Thank you to all the supporters, donators, and patrons on Patreon.
And now back to your regularly scheduled deprogramming.
Alice, wake up! Please wake up, Alice! Alice! Please wake up, Alice! Alice! Alice!
Our thoughts are not solely our own.
The mechanism by which ideas are disseminated on a large scale is propaganda, in the broad sense of an organized effort to spread a particular belief or doctrine.
With your feet in the air, your head on the ground. Where is my mind? Where is my mind?
Essentially, propagandists use media such as magazines, newspapers, radio, the internet, and video to manipulate the masses into accepting or conforming to a certain idea.
Ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my
Wake up,
mind?
Alice!
Where
Alice!
is my
Alice!
mind?
Alice!
So be happy. Go lucky.
Light up, lucky, it's light up time.
Be happy, go lucky, it's light up time. For the taste that you like, light up a lucky strike.
Relax, it's light up time.
There's a time and a place for everything.
The conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society.
With your feet in the air and your head on the ground.
Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of our country. They say history repeats itself, but what if we had a chance to disrupt that cycle? What if we could learn from the tactics and strategies developed in the past to shape our thoughts and beliefs in order to shift the present and prevent ourselves from being lost in the future? This video will explore some of the methods of control developed by nephew of Sigmund Freud, Edward Bernays, widely acknowledged as the father of propaganda. This is the first in a series of videos which will detail some of Bernays' so-called achievements contracting with the US government and other corporations, specifically focusing on Bernays' hand in shaping messaging and symbolism during the early women's rights movement, working with Lucky Strike cigarettes on the Torches of Freedom campaign. Referred to as the father of public relations in his obituary and named one of the 100 most influential Americans by Time magazine, Edward Bernays was born in Vienna, Austria in 1891 and moved to New York City with his family at 1 year old. He first pursued journalism, but upon graduating from Cornell in 1912, he quickly set to work in the burgeoning field of public relations.
As a result of urbanization, more people were living in less space than ever before. Industrialization gave us the ability to produce more goods than ever before. These products were desirable by a growing middle class which had more disposable income than generations of the past. Due to industrialization, supply was capable of being much higher than demand. A business owner that could increase the demand of his products was like a pirate who had found an X on his map. This insight, in large part, paved the way for modern advertising.
Bernays is the nephew of Sigmund Freud, the founder of the field of psychoanalysis. While Freud's work was largely focused on allegedly seeking to uncover motivations, Bernays' work centered around the opposite, covering up motives and manipulation of perspective. Bernays was the first to incorporate psychology and other social sciences into the field of public relations. While Freud's clients were usually wealthy white men, Bernays sought to make clients out of entire companies, corporations, and government. He developed highly successful manipulation techniques that are still used today to sell products as well as ideas and control and influence the minds of the unsuspecting public.
Largely inspired by the work of his uncle, Bernays believed that advertisements could be much more effective if advertisers understood group psychology. If they could understand the emotions, longings, unconscious desires, and questions of the consumer, they can market their product as a fulfilling answer. It manipulates people into adopting a particular belief or doctrine with the intent of removing their autonomy.
As Bernays put it in a famous book of his called Propaganda, late 1920s, I think, he said that we have learned that the intelligent minorities can engineer consent through the use of manipulation, propaganda, and control. And we should do it for the benefit of the public. It's for the benefit of the public that we should control them and engineer their consent.
We are governed, our minds are molded, our tastes formed, our ideas suggested, largely by men we have never heard of. In almost every act of our daily lives, whether in the sphere of politics or business, in our social conduct or our ethical thinking, we are dominated by the relatively small number of men who understand the mental processes and social patterns of the masses. It is they who pull the wires which control the public mind.
I'm cuckoo. I'm cuckoo.
He said, well, we've learned that there's a new art in the practice of democracy, the art of what he called manufacturing consent. Bernays' term was engineering of consent. And this is very significant because the public should not be participants in the democratic process. They should be spectators, not participants. They are ignorant and meddlesome outsiders, as he put it. And for their own benefit, we, the intelligent minority, the responsible men, must control them.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our
greatest responsibility
is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 In Bernays' words, his work aimed to make a science of controlling and regimenting the masses.
So, and that's when you became a stripper?
Yes.
Okay. And did you like it? Did you hate it?
It made me money, it paid my bills, it got me my own apartment, it got me my boob job. You know what I'm saying? I had about $20,000 when I was 20 years old already.
Bernays' particular significance, this had all sorts of influence all over the place, but in the intellectual culture, in political science, and so on. But Bernays' particular influence was exactly as you say.
It's all about empowering women.
He was one of the founders of the modern public relations industry, which grew into a massive industry right at that period. It had existed before, but it became very important after at this time. Its goal was to control attitudes, beliefs, to marginalize people, to induce, to drive them towards what were called the superficial things of life, like fashionable consumption, and keep them out of the public arena where they don't belong.
I just kind of didn't stop for feminism, you know, I just kept going.
I want you ladies to come out and protest.
We take political action in a fun way. Join us.
Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind?
Very exciting to be surrounded by all this energy, this amazing energy, men, women, you know, non-binary, everybody's here and I just love it.
I just came here to say my pussy, my choice.
My pussy, my choice!
See, she agrees with me.
She's not afraid to express her feminist beliefs, inspiring young women everywhere.
Feminist, a person who believes in the social, political, and economic equality of the sexes.
You know, this reflects the woman body. You got your little boobies, the JJ. And if you see my back, it's like booty. Go. The inspiration behind it was feminism. The inspiration behind it was feminism.
Our collective and righteous pain is being exploited, and our energies are being harnessed and misdirected, formed into weapons that will further destroy us, rip us further from ourselves, each other, and the truth. Those who pull the strings behind the curtain of mass media hope to invisibilize the reality of globalized sex-based violence against females and brainwash us with false and degrading narratives of empowerment that can allegedly be found in sexual exploitation.
Where is my mind?
Could it be the concept and message of female rights and liberation has been intentionally controlled and distorted over time in order to control the narrative and thereby suppress any radical thought or action that could lead to women's ascent from the subordination of a male-dominated world society? Subscribe to my channel for more unique content about sex robots, transhumanism, the normalization of pedophilia and drag kids, and the manufactured consent of transgender ideology. Please like, share, and subscribe to help subvert censorship and support independent, female-created media. My channel is not monetized. If you want to see more videos like this, please donate by using PayPal or become a patron on Patreon. This subject matter is dark. Positive messages are appreciated. YouTube has removed some of my videos for alleged hate speech, so I've made a backup channel. You can subscribe by going to my main channel page and navigating to the top right and clicking the Channels tab. I will also soon begin posting on BitChute. To find more regular content from me, you can follow me on Instagram at the Deprogrammer XX, where I post original and unique materials nearly daily. If you appreciate what I do, please consider supporting me by becoming a monthly supporter on Patreon, or make a one-time donation via PayPal by visiting www.paypal.me/womenagainst-sexbots. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't let them gaslight you.